Welcome back to the TTBM Podcast, where you will learn everything you need to know about distilling, winemaking, and beer brewing, from regulations to the art, all on TTBM. There's a reason why we are known to be the best software in the industry, and along for the drive, or is it for the show? Here's our, product. I'm a distiller myself. Put me into it, the New York distiller. So our first will be about the great state of New York and distilling in the state of New York. A little beer brewing thrown in, along with winemaking, because hey, once you're distilling, you know the art of all of those. We're gonna go through the fun and different loopholes, and then not so much fun and not such great, what should I say, closed holes. Some of them are finally open, and we can actually do them like direct to consumer. But why keep on talking when we got to go straight to what you are here for, learning to distill in the great state of New York, winemaking and beer brewing. The great state of New York actually has fantastic laws, and even more than that, a great liquor authority that really works and collaborates with you to help you make the most awesome liquors and wines. Unlike other states which might be light on regulations, but very tough to deal with, New York, they're very responsive, very easy turnarounds, 1, 2, 3, and you feel like they're on your team. So hey, to the great state of New York, that's a shout out to you. New York has a few categories in the distilling industry, on what size distillery you are, a few categories in the beer brewing, and a few categories in the winemaking. But overall, we'll break it down to 3 across the winemaking, the beer brewing, and the distillery. That is mass manufacturing, import blending, and local farm distilling or local vineyards. Now, something very important to pay attention to is just because something's called a farm doesn't mean they made the corn or you have to make the corn. And most distillers I find in the state of New York will start off with a farm license simply because it gives you the most capability at lowest cost. So you're talking about like $938 for the license. Match friendly guy that's going to help you. In addition, it will let you have a tasting room on site. It will let you do sales on site. Now this is huge, because as a small distillery, you cannot compete, and don't make this mistake. You cannot compete with the big distillers on marketing. It's nearly impossible. For multiple different reasons. But if you can sell your product directly to consumers, they can come in and taste is it beer brewing if you are a farm brewery, farm winery, obviously farm distillery. You will be able to chat with them. Something you have to put tremendous emphasis on, a personal connection, and build up a client base, a fan base, and they will carry your product to the liquor store down the block, and the like. So remember, this is generally where you're going to start from, is from a farmer's license and work your way upwards. Your farmer's license will let you have in-store sales, off-premise sales. Sorry about that one. Off-premise sales, and you will need to get a license for that. They say it might take a week. It's usually like a 24-hour turnaround to get that permit. But here's the coolest part. It will actually let you have a satellite shop, which means you can go ahead and create, even if you're located in upstate New York, a second whiskey distillery, quote unquote whiskey distillery or experience in Manhattan or in Buffalo or wherever you shall choose, which brings in again a tremendous new client base. Now here's a really cool thing about that. The zoning is very easy to get approvals on that, and that is where you really can pull ahead. If you exercise that license, make a satellite shop, bring people over there and make your sales. That is an unbelievable hands-on experience. That is a fantastic avenue to explore for additional profits. Another fantastic part about this is farmers markets, where people come chat. Again, you're building focus on the client base, on your customer base being locals and handshakes. That would be your core fan base that will make your brand travel out. Another fascinating part is depending on which category you are, but for distilling, you need 75% corn that's local. There's actually a cooperage in the state of New York. If you could get those barrels, it adds a tremendous authenticity to your spirits. On top of that, you may want to think about direct-to-consumer sales, which is now permitted in New York. And this is something that could be difficult, but really is easy. FedEx will let you ship your liquor. TTBMath.com actually integrates with your e-commerce or can build your e-commerce, and you won't have to worry about things. So don't get overwhelmed. You're anyways going to be using TTB Math. It is the best software out there. Let us do your e-commerce. When the product order comes in, you go to the front of your shop. You pop it in the box, and out it goes. This is very important, and I can't say enough. Get the foot traffic. Get them to tour your distilleries. You hate giving tours. It's difficult of walking around. It may even be an insurance expense. You gotta check with the insurance to see if you can give tours. Pay the extra fee for the insurance. When people come in, you get the foot traffic. It is much harder for the bigger brands to sell their way past you. There's nothing like, especially in today's day and age, of touching, feeling, smelling, something that you see and experience on a daily basis, which will be new to these tourists or whatever you want to call them. You might want to put yourself onto Groupon. Groupon is also a great way to sell tickets. It takes 30%, but that's not your emphasis. Stop looking at the bottom line of how much you can earn off of tours. Look at how much revenue they could bring in for you. I tell people, hey, set up Instagram moments throughout your distillery where they can go ahead and take a photo of themselves in your distillery. They will spread and they'll bring more people in. Another added thing is if you're using ttbmath.com, you can go ahead and have them hooked up via QR codes to watch a barrel as it ages. Because again, we are complete transparency working in the blockchain. They will then go ahead and say, hey, look at this, and show friends. You need to bring everyone in and in mind, occupy their mind and have them emotionally involved in your distillery to grow. And this is something the state of New York is unbelievably set up for with their DTC and, of course, the direct-to-sales in store, and something that ttbmath.com with its capability is able to really grow for you. Our social media aspect that we offer, the way they can follow through the production stage, so they can even come ahead and say, hey, I'm watching this distill. Say, hey, why don't you scan this QR code? You'll follow through the process. You can sell 300-400 bottles a day on tours like that because they're going to follow it through to the end for 2 years and all that foot traffic. And this is something truly unique to TTB Math. If you're in New York distiller thinking about getting into the business, feel free to reach out. We love chatting with new and future distillers. And of course, the experienced ones, because that's where we learn from. So thank you for coming, and stay tuned for our next show.